Ghostly greetings, Hana, your boy Prue. We're gonna do American Horror Story Challenge 7, Cult. We're doing Shadow over Innsmouth, part of the complete H.P. Lovecraft. I love H.P. Lovecraft. Stephen King cites him as a resource, which we'll come into that later. So, let's talk about it. Okay, you know how I roll. I'm gonna do this real quick. Premise, plot, characters, what I thought, the adventure, if you will, grade rating, and then we'll talk about channel updates. So, let's get to it, shall we? Shadow over Innsmouth is a short story by the legendary H.P. Lovecraft. Your boy Prue's, one of his favorite things ever is the mythos. I love the mythos. Love him to death. I can't tell you how excited I am to be talking about H.P. Lovecraft. I really am. I really want to do more. There will be more H.P. Lovecraft on this channel. Movies, books, whatever, games. I just like the mythos. I'm more scared about going insane than I am about a monster. But monsters that make you go insane knocks it both out of the park. Before we go though, I have doubled my subscriber count recently. I got to 50. So big ups to all of you. All of you, not me. You did this. You've subscribed. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for having me and my book ramblings be a part of your life. That really hits home. Because I don't got a whole body to talk to about books around here. So I've made some real friends on the YouTubes. So thank you for that. And y'all have been awesome. I couldn't ask for a better group of nerds. Okay, we could, oh, maybe the cult should have been us. Yep. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's talk about characters. Let's talk, I'm a little emo here. I don't want to get too emo on the YouTubes. Okay, so let's talk about the characters. Robert Olmsted. I took notes. I don't always take notes. This is like a thing, but H.P. Lovecraft is indeed a part of me. There's a lot of this is wrapped in mythos. I'm a mythos wrapped in an enigma, fried in a riddle. Yeah, no, I'm just the bro dude who loves the mythos a lot. I love that. Okay, but the main character is named Robert Olmsted. Robert Olmsted. I think of Shannara there. And he is the narrator, so everything's from his POV, his narration perspective. So a lot of the story we get from him. Well, he meets an old mercantile captain, like a sea captain's kind of how I imagine him. You know, the black coat, the hat, the Christmas Columbus pipe, you know, the Frosty the Snowman corncob pipe. And Obed Marsh, and he is referred to as being the man who first summoned the old ones. I really liked him. I liked how the cult did this. Now, I want to talk about two more characters, and then that'll be it for the characters, because I don't want to, it's a short story, so there's not that many characters, but Obed Marsh and Barnabas Marsh. Barnabas Marsh is half deep one, so we'll get to that later. But Marsh is a name in Stephen King's It, and Stephen King has often cited H.P. Lovecraft as an influence, kind of, or he's just respectful of the work. So Marsh being used in this kind of made me think, oh, maybe that has something to do with Beverly from It, you know, Beverly and her dad. So that's kind of cool. And It is very H.P. Lovecraft with the cosmicness and stuff like that. So that's cool. That's cool. I really appreciate that. But now let's talk about plot. Let's talk about the premise, the fucking meat on this fucking sandwich. This is what draws me into stories, is a good plot. So, here's the plot. So there's this old town called Innsmouth. And sometimes they aren't doing so hot. They don't got so money. But this dude named Obed Marsh was a sea captain and found some shit while abroad on sea travels. And he's using stuff to conjure what he calls deep ones. And they bring the riches from the sea, sunken pirate treasure, shit like that, gold, money. But then they're like, oh, cool, so they form this cult. Part 7 American Horror Stories Challenge called the Esoteric Order of the Dragon. I don't know what esoteric means. I should have looked it up. I'm not going to now. But, Esoteric Order of the Dragon. And then he, like, so they're like, oh shit, this is great. But then they kind of want the deep old ones to go away. And then they start killing the fucking townsfolk. They start forcing people to breed with each other. Like, oh, you're a boy person, human, and you're a girl deep one. You need to hook up. Oh, you're a girl and there's a boy deep one. Y'all need to fuck and get some half deep ones. Deep twos, if you will. And that's the premise. And the dude's like trying to figure out what the fuck is going on in this mystery. He's in a train car. He hears them going by. And this is an amazing book about a cult, but it's not more about the cult. It's about the cult's effect on a town. What happens as basically Children of the Corn, but children of like the sea coral. Yeah, let's call it that. So, characters, I'm going to give an A+ too, because there's only a couple and they're steadily fleshed out in a short story. Premise, I'm also going to give an A2, because interspecies erotica, that's pretty trippy. And cults, drunken captain, and then an obvious to me, it. Foreshadowing, oh my gosh, I couldn't. I was blown away. I was blown away. So, characters, 5 out of 5. Book and plot, 5 out of 5. But the writing, does it draw you in? Yeah. H.P. Lovecraft's writing. Hold on, let me read a passage. I should have marked it. But I didn't take a note that I was going to read a passage. But we are now. It's on page 866. This is a massive tome. This is a massive tome. The shadow over Innsmouth. At the length of the disrupted vehicle, started with the jerk, and rattled noisily past the old brick buildings of State Street, amidst a cloud of vapor from the exhaust. Glancing at the people on the sidewalks, I thought I'd detected them in curious wish to avoid looking at the bus, or at least wish to avoid being looked at. So I like H.P. Lovecraft's writing because his adjective-based writing definitely describes the whole scene. You know, the rusty car, the vapors, the roud, the knocks, the jerks. And for me, that makes it very easy for me to make a picture in my head of what's going on. So I like that. But there is a con to some that's old-timey writing, like thou art, and old, you know, Old English, OE, 40 OE, if you will. And it's a little hard to do if you're not into that. But me, I'm into that. I like Sherlock Holmes. So this was nothing. This was just an amazing dark mystery novel. So of course, the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft, I'm going to give an A+ to. But The Shadow over Innsmouth, I'm going to give you also an A+, because I enjoyed that very much. But this has been your boy Prue, and that's been part 7 of my American Horror Story Challenge. Thank you so much for watching. I can't be more appreciative of this. Please, if you know anyone else who wants to do this challenge, join in. Let's have some fun. 2020's been shit. Let's have a little fun reading dark literature, should we? I think we should. But it's been your boy Prue. I want you all to stay creepy. All hail the mythos. And outside of note, in that new subject, my first draft of my book is finished. If I get 10 yeses, I will divulge the plot to my book. It's not thick. It's going to be a couple hundred, like 200 pages maybe. And it's basic. I don't want to say anything. If you're not interested, you don't care, that's cool. Some people are just here to talk about books. Not a lot of people have interest in writing. I didn't think I had interest in writing. I just found a short story in my head, wrote it all out, and I enjoyed it. That's about it. That might be where it ends. Who knows? But if y'all want to know the premise, let me up. We'll do a video solely just on that. That way, if you're not interested, no harm to you. But if you are interested in the creepy kid's thoughts, cool. Let's be down. So thank you again for watching. Stay creepy. Deuces.